There is a sound in the store that only I can hear. It starts as a thin, wet scrape, like a fingernail dragged across plastic wrap. It comes from the lottery display behind the counter. Every time it happens, the hairs along my arms lift and my jaw tightens before my brain can catch up. Marla stands at the coffee station, scooping powdered creamer with the calm of somebody who still believes the world is normal. I watch her hands, waiting for her to flinch when the scrape comes again. It comes, a soft, deliberate shhhhhk. Marla does not react. I clear my throat. My voice comes out too loud in the empty store. The windows are white with blowing snow, the parking lot erased. The automatic doors keep trying to open and failing, shuddering against packed drifts. You hear that, I say. Marla looks at me like I am trying to start a conversation about the weather. Hear what? The scratching. She tilts her head. The only thing she seems to register is the hum of the refrigeration units and the faint music from the ceiling speakers that keeps cutting in and out. It is just the coolers. They do that. The scrape comes again, closer, sharper. It is not the coolers. It has intention. I step behind the counter. The lottery display is a bright rack of glossy tickets, each one sealed under clear film. The state logo smiles up at me. The top row has the big prizes printed in cheerful fonts. None of it should make that sound. I bring my face close. The air smells like paper, ink, and that faint metallic scent of cold. The sound comes from the second column, third ticket down. A ticket labeled Winter Wishes. The silver scratch coating on the play area moves. Not a trick of light, not vibration. The coating stirs in tiny arcs as if an invisible coin is rubbing it. A pale crescent of underlying numbers begins to show, then stops, then resumes. My stomach drops. I glance at Marla again. She is stirring her coffee, eyes half closed, humming along with the broken music. Marla, I whisper, because something about the movement makes me want to be quiet. What? Right now. She walks over, annoyance in her steps. I have been here since 6. I am stuck here with you because the road is closed and the manager thinks it is safer if we stay put. I am not doing spooky stories. I point. She leans in, squints, and then her face goes blank in that way people do when their brain rejects what their eyes report. It is not moving. It scrapes again, loud enough that I feel it in my teeth. The silver patch peels back another sliver. Marla still sees nothing. I feel suddenly alone in a way that has nothing to do with being snowed in. My flashlight is on the counter, the cheap kind with a cracked lens and a rubber button that sticks. I picked it up earlier when the power flickered, thinking it might go out for good. When I press the button now, the beam comes on and then dims, then brightens. Not in a random sputter but in a slow pattern, like lungs. Out. The breathing rhythm makes my skin crawl. I try to click it off and on again. The rhythm continues, patient and steady. Marla watches the light pulsing across the counter. Your batteries are dying. No, I say, it is not that. She shrugs. Everything is weird when you are tired. I want to tell her I am not tired. I am terrified. The store is small, one aisle of snacks, one of canned goods, a wall of drinks, and a back room with a restroom and storage. The windows are plastered with snow, but the streetlights outside still glow through the white like bruises. The store phone has no dial tone. The cell signal dropped an hour ago. Marla goes to the front doors and pushes them. They do not budge. We are not going anywhere, she says, like she is reassuring herself. Behind me, the lottery display scrapes again. I turn fast. More of the Winter Wishes ticket is revealed. The play area is half uncovered now, as if it has been worked on for a while. A number shows through, then another. The flashlight breathes in my hand, its beam swelling and shrinking across the glossy rack. In the bright face, I see something else that makes my throat tighten. There is a fingerprint in scratch dust, not on the surface, but in the exposed area, pressed into the paper fibers as if someone touched it while it was wet. The print is small, child-sized. I swallow. Marla, I need you to take a picture of this. She takes out her phone, opens the camera, and points it where I am pointing. Nothing is happening. She shows me the screen. On her screen, the ticket is pristine. The silver coating is whole. No exposed numbers. No scratch dust. My heart begins to thud, slow and heavy, matching the flashlight. Out. I raise my own phone and open the camera. The image on my screen shows what I see. The scratch ticket, the crescent of numbers, the dust. Marla frowns. Why would your phone show it and mine not? I do not have an answer that fits in the world we are supposed to live in. The scrape comes again, and the ticket finishes itself with a final, satisfied sound. The whole play area is exposed. 3 snowflakes. 3 identical symbols. A winner. A tiny line of print at the bottom reads SE Clerk. I do not remember picking up any tickets. I do not remember scratching anything. I have been behind this counter, watching the snow pack against the doors, listening to a sound only I can hear. The ticket is still sealed in the rack. It should not be able to win. The intercom above the door pops with static. Then a voice speaks, low and close, as if someone is leaning right into the microphone. Found it yet? Marla snaps her head up. Hello? Who is this? No answer. Only a hiss. The flashlight breathes faster for a moment, then settles back into its slow pattern. I stare at the winning ticket. The SE Clerk line looks less like instructions and more like a command. Something shifts near the front doors, a shape pressed against the glass from outside. I cannot see through the snow, but the motion is unmistakable, a shadow passing the entrance. Marla steps toward the door, hand on her hip. If somebody is out there messing around, you need to leave. Road is closed. Her voice is firm, almost angry. She wants this to be a normal problem, a person with bad timing. The shadow returns closer. A face appears for a second, then vanishes behind a gust. My stomach twists. I feel the urge to hide, but there is nowhere to go that is not glass and thin walls. The intercom clicks again. You already let me in, the voice says. Marla laughs once, a sharp sound. No, I did not. The voice is calm. Yes, you both did. My mouth goes dry. Who are you? Silence. Then, softer. Do not do that. Do not pretend. The door handle rattles. Marla grabs the bat from under the counter, the one with the chipped blue paint. We are calling the police, she says, even though the phone is dead. The flashlight beam swells and falls across the floor tiles. In the dim phase, the front of the store looks steeper, like the aisle stretches farther than it should. The door stops rattling. Then the automatic doors part. They should not. The snow is packed tight. The sensors should be blocked, but the doors slide open with a groan, pushing snow aside like it is foam. A man steps in. He is tall, bundled in a dark coat crusted with ice. His hair is wet from melted snow, plastered to his forehead. He holds his hands out, palms open, like he is entering a room where a fight already started. I am not here to hurt you, he says. His voice is the voice from the intercom. Marla raises the bat. Get out, now. The man looks at her, and something in his expression shifts. Hurt, confusion, like she has said something cruel. Marla, he says, like he is saying her name to remind her she knows him. Hello, Marla freezes. How do you know my name? He turns his gaze to me. His eyes lock on mine with a certainty that makes my skin prickle. And you, he says, you are doing it too. I grip the breathing flashlight so hard my fingers ache. I do not know you. He steps closer, careful, stopping at the edge of the mat by the door. Snow melts off his boots in small dark puddles. Yes, you do, he says. I met you earlier. In here. You were behind that counter. You handed me the ticket. My eyes flick toward the lottery rack. The Winter Wishes winner sits there, fully scratched. My mouth opens, but no sound comes out. The man nods, as if my silence confirms it. You told me to scratch it. You told me it would fix it. You told me if I won, I could come back in. Marla's grip on the bat tightens. I do not remember any of that. He looks at her, and his expression hardens. You though, you just do not like what you did. The store lights flicker. The music cuts out completely. For a second, the only illumination is my flashlight, breathing across his coat. Out. In the bright phase, I see his face clearly. He has a small cut on his chin, fresh. His lips are cracked. He looks exhausted. Real. That grounded reality makes him worse. Because if he is real, then the impossible parts are real too. He reaches into his coat slowly. Marla takes a step forward, bat raised higher. Do not, she says. He pulls out a folded receipt and holds it up between two fingers. I have proof, he says. He sets it on the counter and slides it toward me without crossing the invisible line of the register area. I pick it up. It is our store receipt paper, the cheap kind that turns gray at the edges. It has a timestamp from earlier today, when Marla and I were already here, already snowed in. Item list: 2 coffees, 1 Winter Wishes ticket, and a line that makes my stomach lurch. Flashlight. I look down at the flashlight in my hand. The receipt shows it sold, as if it had been scanned. But it is our flashlight, the one we keep under the counter for outages. It has always been here. The man watches my face. You gave it to me, he says. It would not stop doing that. The breathing. You said it was not broken. You said it was listening. My pulse hammers. I did not. He leans forward a little, and his voice drops. Then why is it in your hand again? I cannot answer. Marla snatches the receipt from me and scans it quickly. Her eyes narrow. This could be fake. He lets out a tired laugh that has no humor. You think I printed this out in the snow? The flashlight breathes, and with every swell of light, the scratch ticket seems to glint like a wet eye. The man points at it. That is the one, he says. The winner. The one you made scratch itself. Marla's face tightens. It is sealed in the rack. He looks at her like she is being stubborn on purpose. No, it is not. He reaches out and touches the ticket. His finger presses the clear film. Nothing moves. No scrape. The Winter Wishes ticket on the rack is suddenly pristine again. Silver coating whole. No exposed symbols, no dust. I stare, dizzy. The man's eyes flick back to me. See, he says gently, like he is trying to coax me back into a shared memory. You both do this. You make it different depending on who is looking. My phone is still open in my hand. The camera view shows the ticket scratched. When I lower the phone and look with my naked eyes, the ticket is unmarked. My throat tightens until it hurts. Marla whispers, what is wrong with you? The man's gaze sharpens. Stop acting like I'm the problem. He steps closer. The air around him carries a faint smell of wet wool and something else, a sterile scent like a clinic. You met me, he says. You told me your names. You asked mine. You wrote it down. He reaches into his coat again and pulls out a small notebook. He opens it to a page and holds it up. There is handwriting on it. My handwriting. The page reads, Marla works days. Do not let him forget. Flashlight breathes when he is near. Below that, a name. His name. My vision tunnels. I feel like I am standing at the edge of a memory that refuses to let me in. I did not write that, I say, but even as I say it, my hand tingles with recognition as if the pen is still pressed between my fingers. Marla snatches the notebook and flips it back and forth. This is insane. The man watches her, then looks at me again. Tell her, he says. Tell her what you told me. Tell her why you said we could not go outside. I lick my lips. Because the road is closed. He shakes his head slowly, disappointment blooming across his face. Not the road. The other reason. The store lights flicker again. For a moment, the fluorescent glow dims so low that the aisles become a gray tunnel. The flashlight becomes the center of the world, breathing. Out. In the dim phase, I hear it. Not the lottery scrape. A second sound, faint and far, like someone tapping on glass with the tip of a coin. It comes from the windows. I turn. The front windows are white with snow, but in the center pane, a small circle is clear, as if someone has wiped it from the outside. A fingertip traces across the glass. Oh, Ruddick. Marla does not see it. She is watching the man, bat still up. The man does see it. His face goes tight, jaw clenched. Do you hear it? He asks me. I nod, because the tapping has become a rhythm now, matching the flashlight, matching my pulse. The man takes a breath. That is why you told me not to go outside, he says. You said it learns your voice. You say it copies what you say until you say it back. My mouth goes numb. The intercom crackles again without anyone touching it. This time the voice is mine, not a recording, not distorted. My voice, speaking from the ceiling, calm and close. Found it yet? It says. Marla stares upward, face draining of color. Oh, no, that is you. I cannot speak. The man points at the flashlight in my hand. That thing, he says, it is the only light that shows the right version. You told me that too. The flashlight beam swells, and in the bright phase, I see the lottery rack again. The Winter Wishes ticket is scratched. Winner revealed. SE clerk printed like a threat. When the beam falls, the ticket looks untouched. Two realities, switching with every breath of light. Marla backs away from the counter. Her foot slides in a puddle of melted snow, and she catches herself on the shelf of chips. What is happening? She whispers. The man's eyes stay on mine. You promised you would remember, he says. I shake my head. I do not. He steps closer, and I see something in his hands now. A lottery ticket. It is crumpled and damp, scratch dust smeared across it like hash. He holds it out. Take it, he says. Look at with your breathing light. Look at what you made me win. My hand lifts without permission. The flashlight pulses. In the bright phase, the ticket in his hand shows the 3 snowflakes, the winner. In the dim phase, the ticket changes. The symbols are not snowflakes anymore. They are 3 small circles, like clear spots on glass. Like wiped windows. My throat closes. The tapping on the window grows louder, more eager. The clear circle on the front pane widens, as if something is pressing its face against it from outside. The intercom speaks again in my voice. Let me in, it says. Marla whimpers, a sound she tries to swallow. The man's face twists in anger and fear. That is not you, he says to Marla, but he is looking at me. Tell her it is not you. Tell her you already said it once. I stare at the window. In the widening clear patch, I see a suggestion of an eye. The flashlight breathes. Oh, out. With every swell of light, the eye becomes clearer. With every fall, it becomes only snow again. My phone buzzes in my pocket. One single vibration like a heartbeat. No signal. No service. I pull it out anyway. A notification fills the screen. A photo, time stamped earlier today. It shows me behind this counter, smiling like I am posing. The man stands on the customer side, close enough that our shoulders almost touch. Marla stands beside me, holding the breathing flashlight out like we are presenting it. All 3 of us look directly at the camera. Behind us, in the reflection of the front window, something presses its face to the glass from outside, features blurred by snow, mouth open as if speaking. The tapping becomes frantic. The intercom crackles. My voice, softer now, like a secret. You already met, it says. The man leans in close enough that I can smell his breath, cold and metallic. His eyes are wet. Now remember what you promised, he whispers. The flashlight in my hand swells to full brightness. The automatic doors behind him begin to slide open again, slow, obedient. And the sound I could never make anyone else hear rises from the lottery rack, louder than ever, like a coin scratching through skin. Marla screams my name. I look down. The Winter Wishes ticket is scratching itself again, faster now, as if racing the opening doors. The symbols underneath are not snowflakes. They are letters, and they are spelling something I swear I have already said out loud.